healthcare system affects mental health care and services in many ways. If you don't have money to pay for services, you don't get care, period. Which means your mental health might deteriorate. Years ago, I was hospitalized for mental health issues for about 1 month. Just the hospital stay, it cost $203,505.10 to my insurance. Yes, I know how lucky I am. But what about the people that don't have insurance, that feel their mental health slipping? We should not have to pick between our mental health or being in debt. Where would I have been now if I didn't have insurance? Would I even be sitting here talking to you?
The caregiver to a spouse admitted into a healthcare facility is placed under financial stress. In many cases, the patient is in greater need of the companionship provided by their caregiver. Regardless of distance from the home, some caregivers will travel with the patient to accompany them in the hospital. There are no programs that provide financial assistance to the spouses who provide care for their loved ones. It would be an improvement to the healthcare system in America to provide food, housing, and transportation expenses. Unless this issue is addressed and the needs met, spousal caregivers will continue to struggle financially. It is a well-known fact that this type of support is given to the family of children, not adults.
I flirted with homelessness. Living in San Francisco many years ago, I could not make the rent. I was panicked and depressed, but then I bit the bullet and reached out to my mother for help. She sent me the cash I needed, no questions asked. Later on, I couldn't find a place to rent with the money I made. I ended up living in a cheap hotel in the Tenderloin. I could hear the prostitutes and their clients through the thin walls of my room. That cheap room made me happy though. When I locked the door, I could read, listen to music, plan for the future. I was a master of my own little world. Not having a place to call your own can drive you crazy. It can make you physically sick and mentally unwell. If you're already sick or in despair, it will only make things worse. In New York City, a majority of the homeless are living with mental illness or other serious health issues. New York City is more homeless now than during the Great Depression. We know how to make the homeless healthier and happier. Give them a place to live first. This is the most humane solution. It's also the cheapest. Research has shown that if we provide housing first, then the cost burden on other social services is lessened. Homelessness makes people sick, but it's also a symptom of a sick society. We should try to get healthier.
It's no surprise that the environment affects our overall health and well-being. Our environment refers to the physical, social, and cultural characteristics of our surroundings. Think of what paradise means to you. Imagery that may come to mind are blue skies, clean water, comfortable temperature, crisp air, peace and quiet, and an abundance of beautiful greenery around. Access to these ideal conditions should be considered a human right, as we were all born on the same planet. The unfortunate truth is that this paradise has been slipping away from us due to the way society has polluted Mother Earth. Issues such as contaminated food and water, poor air quality, microplastics, noise pollution, non-walkable cities, lack of native green spaces, and above all, climate change, all have had a profound effect on our quality of life. Prolonged exposure to these elements can cause increased health risks such as autoimmune diseases and cancer. These hazards are not felt equally among us. Unfortunately, socioeconomic status can often be linked to exposure to these hazards, with lower income communities being disproportionately affected. It is important to understand and address the way in which our environment directly correlates to our health in order to heal the earth and promote the well-being and prosperity of every single one of its inhabitants.
Now, let's talk about how healthcare affects health insurance costs. In order to understand how the complex and fragmented healthcare system affects insurance costs, it's important first to understand what it is and how it works. Healthcare is a system that provides medical services for people who need them. Depending on where you live, a government or private company can provide it. The system's main goal is to provide free or affordable medical assistance. As we all know, the cost of healthcare has steadily been rising over the last few decades, leading to higher premiums and deductibles for many people. This has led to more people being uninsured more than ever, and places of of even greater burden on those with insurance coverage through their employer. High deductible health plans are increasingly becoming popular among employers and health insurance providers. While they can help lower health care costs in the short term, there is a growing concern that they will have negative long-term effects on the patient's health and finances. But the key to making a difference in the world is to start small. First, advocate for better health care. Whether it's voting for politicians who support universal coverage or writing letters to your elected officials about what matters most to you.